Hello. In this video, I want to take a look at some graphs for some time series that have seasonality. So seasonality is a repeating pattern and that a time series might have, and it repeats so that kind of like periods have the same pattern. So for example, if I have yearly data or monthly data like this, so I have 12 months, and then the next year I have another 12 months of data, and then the next year I have another 12 months of data, then if the pattern reoccurs so that, say, every June looks similar and every July looks similar, or maybe every December looks similar, then that's called seasonality. And let me show you an example of that. So here I have two items and I have their demand over, I think I have 15 years of data, so it goes from 2002 up to 2017. So when you're looking for seasonality, you usually want to look at least 3 years of data to see it. And if you can see this sort of repeating pattern every year, then you do have seasonality for that data. So here, I have two items, item A and item B. And let's just take a look at item A. And I want to look at maybe 3 years of data. So I go down to 3 years, down to 2004. I have 2002, 2003, and then 2004. And I leave the titles in there. So the the horizontal axis is going to be months, and the vertical axis is going to be demand. And let's say insert chart and see what we get. Okay, so there's the time series. It's already put it as a line chart. I like to always put in the lollipops, so I'm going to go ahead and put in the lollipops immediately. There's my lollipops. And now let's see what else. For the rest of it, here's the months down here. I want to actually show you how you can kind of clean this up a bit and kind of put in more months if you want to see more months. It's sort of arbitrarily decided to show me January, July, and maybe that's okay depending on what I'm doing, but maybe I want to see more months as well too. Let me show you how to do that. So if you go over to customize, let's go back up to setup. Oops. Yeah, put the series back down. The first thing I want to do is go into the horizontal axis and adjust that. And I want to turn these labels so they're not this way so I can fit more of these labels in there. So if I look at slant labels, I see something called auto, but I want to actually change that, so I rotate it 90 degrees so I can fit a few more in. Okay, so that's under horizontal axis and then slant labels, and I'm switching that to 90, and it turns these labels up this way. Okay, you don't have to do this, but you can fit more in if you do that. So now I'm going to go down to grid lines and ticks and click that open and look at the major count. So the major count is sort of how many of these months it's choosing to show me here. And I know if I put in kind of 36 here, I know that there are 3 years, 12 months for each year. So I know if I put in 36, it will show me everything here. So there's everything, and I'm going to actually see if I can make the font here a little bit. Can I change the font? Let's see. Oh, yeah, down here. So maybe I have to go back to horizontal axis. Yeah, back over to horizontal axis, and let's make those bold, and let's also give them kind of a darker color so we can see them. Okay, so that was back over in horizontal axis. And now go back to grid lines, and let's kind of play around with that. I know for the major count, if I put in 36, it'll give me everything here. Let me just play around with this major count so I can see what happens if I put in 12. So if I put in 12, so it shows me every third month if I do that. So 36 divided by 12 is 3. Every third month is what it's giving me here. How about if I put in 6? Okay, so here it's giving me every 6th month, right? Okay, so I put in 6, so 36 divided by 6. You could put in 3. If I put in 3, that's going to give me just January, January, and January. Okay, so I'm going to go back up to 36 and list all of those like that. Now let's take a look at the data. So, okay, so if I'm looking at the data, here does it have seasonality? Well, here's where we start with January. It it's pretty low. And then here's the 2nd January here, pretty low. And here's the 3rd January over here, also pretty low. So just before I get to January, I see November and December and then a drop. So here's another November, December, and then a drop. And over here, here's November, December, and I bet there's going to be a drop off here going to 2005 as well too. So there definitely looks like there might be some seasonality. There's another high point in, say, August. So here's July, August. It looks like it kind of jumps up a bit, and summer as well too. So here's July and August, bam. There's a little bit of a jump right there as well too. So that's this piece and also this piece. And over here I should see it somewhere too. Here's the July and August. For some reason this July to August didn't get as much of a bump up, but okay. And then it drops down in the months after that until it gets to November, and then it kind of picks up again, right? So in August it picks up, drops off in September again, and comes up. So this might be something like back to school kind of behavior, where it sort of jumps up in August, so just before school starts again. And then maybe it's again doing pretty well in the Christmas season as well too. So at any rate, this is a time series, and this is how you can deal with the time, the labels down here for the months and the years.